Good morning and welcome to our first weekly briefing of the 2019-2020 school year. My name is Zach Gearhart, Director of Government Relations. These weekly briefings are held in an effort to keep the campus and public better informed about the changes occurring at Wichita State. Following a university update and today's featured topic, there will be time for questions. To start today's briefing, we have a quick update on the presidential search process. Now, we all want Dr. Tompkins to stay. I've tried to bribe him with Freddy's, he said no. Tried to bribe him with Fuzzies, he said no. I even offered to drive him around in a golf cart in perpetuity, and he may have said, I saw you driving a golf cart, and I definitely am not going to be swayed by that. But according to the Kansas Board of Regents, the search committee met by telephone on Wednesday. It will soon begin reviewing applications, and the final regent selection is expected by mid-November. We'll let you know more when additional information becomes available from KBOR. As you may have heard, the university recently hired two new college deans, Larissa Jenin, Dean of the Barton School of Business, and Colleen Pugh, Dean of the Graduate School and Associate Vice President for Research and Technology Transfer. We're happy to announce that both of these deans are now officially on campus and are actively engaging with stakeholders from across the university. We welcome them to Shocker Nation and wish them the best of luck. This week, the university also welcomed 45 new employees to the Shocker family. We want to wish all of them a productive and successful school year, and we look forward to see their positive contributions towards WSU's vision and mission. Summer has been a busy time on campus with several construction projects underway. The university-owned NIAR Advanced Virtual Engineering and Technology Lab, scheduled for completion in late October. The facility will house the NIAR Crash Dynamics Lab and Virtual Engineering Lab. The shell of developer-owned Partnership Building 3, known as P3, is also scheduled for completion in October, and the interior will be finished out as tenants come on board. In addition, the Steve Clark YMCA WSU Student Wellness Center, housing student health services and counseling services, will open this January. We're excited for construction on the 36,000 Student Athlete Success Center has started with an expected completion date of July 2020. We're excited for these additions and for the benefits they'll provide for our students, our growing number of partners, and the community. While it's easy to simply talk about current and future buildings, we want to stress that all of this effort isn't just about construction. It's about creating spaces for people to learn and collaborate. Elements like art, landscaping, lighting, outdoor seating, and signage work together to create an environment that can enhance the campus experience, be welcoming to the community, and attract and retain students, faculty, and staff. In addition to new construction, we'd also like to make you aware of recent changes to traffic, parking, and shuttles service. First, and most important, please be aware, 2 new stop signs located at the intersection near Memorial 70 Monument, and be prepared to stop when approaching Perimeter Road from Hillside or Memorial Drive. On-campus parking has expanded with the opening of the suites at WSU. Parking is available for students, faculty, and staff with a valid permit. We want to remind students that they can ride Wichita Transit for free with their Shocker IDs. Also, there is a new shuttle stop opposite of the Food Truck Plaza, and the Grace Wilkie shuttle stop has been moved to Mid-Campus Drive near Wilkins Stadium. To keep up to date with the latest traffic, parking, and shuttle changes, visit wichita.edu/parking. One of the best things about the start of the school year is the increasingly large number of students who choose to call campus their home away from home. Today, we're happy to announce that our occupancy as of last Friday between Shocker Hall, the Flats, and our brand new facility, the Suites, was at 1,463, putting us at full capacity. We anticipated the possibility of higher requests for housing again this year, so we created expandable spaces to accommodate an increase in numbers. These rooms were identified prior to the room selection assignment process, and students have been notified over the summer if their space was ultimately expanded. This high demand is also reflected in our increase in application numbers, particularly with students who have previously lived on campus and wish to move back to campus this fall. As of August 12th, we have 460 of these returning students compared to 355 the previous year. We're pleased to see continued success in our strategy to create a campus environment where more students want to be before, during, and after class. And finally, WSU continues making great strides through its strong commitment to applied learning and research. The university has set a record for research and development awards with a total of $136 million in fiscal year 2019, which ended June 30th, topping last year's record-breaking total of $104 million. This significant increase comes from a steep rise in contracts and awards from the U.S. Department of Defense, which increased by more than $40 million from fiscal year 2018 to fiscal year 2019. Recent DoD awards include $33 million from the U.S. Army Combat Capabilities Command Aviation Missile Center for Emerging Materials for High-Speed Missile Applications, $23.5 million for the U.S. Air Force Research Laboratory for Advanced Materials and Automated Manufacturing, and $7 million from the Office of Naval Research for multiple projects involving advanced materials, digital modeling, and advanced manufacturing. According to John Tomlin, WSU Vice President for Research and Technology Transfer, this relationship with the Department of Defense has opened up connections that will benefit Wichita State University faculty and staff, in addition to the state of Kansas, manufacturing industry, various DoD agencies, and the nation as a whole. We're also proud of our faculty research, particularly for its innovation and the recognition it brings. A prime example is Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Dr. Alex Schwartzberg, who recently received the Presidential Early Career Award for Scientists and Engineers. This is the highest honor bestowed by the U.S. government on STEM professionals. Dr. Schwartzberg is the first ever recipient from Wichita State and only the third ever from Kansas. We congratulate him on this great accomplishment. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Andy Tompkins, WSU Interim President, to talk about WSU's priority for the 2019-2020 academic school year. Dr. Tompkins.
Well, thank you, Zach, and it's a great update on what's been going on. We want to welcome everyone to a new academic year. We're excited about it, and we're excited for some of you who could be able to join us today. As you can kind of see, as you would anticipate, we've been busy on campus over the summer. We've had classes and camps and a lot of work on facilities all the way around the whole place, so it's been an exciting time to see it. But I got to tell you, the real excitement is starting right now, because in the next 3 days or 4 days, we have all of our students back and moving in on campus and getting acclimated, because next week is the first day of class, I think, on Monday. So we're very excited about that and looking forward to having them there. One of my jobs as the interim president of the university is to keep the university moving forward. And to that end, one of the things we've done is establish some priorities for the coming year. And some of these are kind of continuance of things we had started in the previous year or two, and also some things that we're trying to do to make sure we're prepared for our new president whenever they are able to arrive. So let me just share a few of these with you so that you can kind of get an idea of some of the things we're trying to do. One of the things we've noticed and we've heard from our students, as well as we look at the students that we're serving in our university, we know that we are need to put a focus on increasing need-based aid. And another part of this is also to be able to help our students who are trying to work with their finances and being able to afford and come out of university as debt-free as possible. So part of our budget this year was trying to increase our need-based aid. Another part of our long-term strategy, we have recommended the Board of Regents that needs to be a priority for our whole system, especially for our university. And then we're hoping in future years to keep an eye on this so that we actually can find ways to fill that gap for our students, so all students can feel like we're there to help them with this important part of their experience here. Another one that I think is important for us, a carryover that I suppose have had for a while, is continuing to expand our offerings, both degree offerings and also just customized training offerings. One of the neat things I think about our partnership with WSU Tech, and I think Dr. Bardo used to say GED to PhD, is that we are always trying to find things that, in fact, we can stand up programs that might be helpful in a short term for people, our students or people in business and industry, and also long term. And so I know we have a number of interdisciplinary efforts that have been, the university has developed over the last year or two, and we're going to continue to look for those opportunities. Another thing that Zach mentioned was we're expanding our health and wellness. We're having this new center, YMCA center, but in that center we're going to have all our mental health professionals as well as our student health professionals. And so we see this expanded effort as important for our student body, and we know that there are needs there that we need to respond to. Last year, and maybe over at least the last couple of years maybe, but for sure last year, the faculty along with the provost worked on a study about research and workload for faculty across the institution, and they'll be going to work together again this year and with the Faculty Senate and all the faculty on that. Another thing that I want to tout this year is that we're in the final year of the Shock the World campaign. We've had great success so far in that campaign, but we have one more year to go. And in that campaign this year, we're focusing on faculty excellence. And one of our priorities is to try to make sure we know as wide as we can, encourage people to help us as we try to find ways to recognize and reward the excellent faculty that we have on campus. Last year, we conducted a study to one of the issues that at any organization, and especially at a university, is our information technology and how, not only how we operate within that, but how we make sure things are secure within that. And so we had a study last year that helped guide us in some things that we can do to improve. So this year we'll be putting together a committee to help us say, how do we now actualize and implement those recommendations? And I think I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. Another thing I might tell you is that in preparation for a new president, I feel like one of the things they will want to do is say, you know, kind of where are we in our campus and what are some of the things that we do already have planned. And so we're going to have an update in our master facilities plan. This will not be a major study, but what will be a great, we'll have students and faculty and staff as well as some of our leadership team looking at, okay, the spaces that we've got. And as people have moved to other areas, for example, as our health services move into the new Y, what are we doing with those spaces? And so that we have kind of a plan. And I know our student government has some areas that they want us to take a look at. So I think this will be very helpful for somebody as they come here to be able to see what's happening with our facilities and what at least our plans are right now so that then they can have a starting point for their own advocacy. As you saw, our research efforts on this campus and especially our applied research efforts have just expanded unbelievably. And we anticipate that will continue for this coming year. And so, you know, obviously we want to continue to try to be in industry-based research as well as research on our government. And I think we are, like now, especially in aerospace, one of the top aerospace research institutions in the nation. And we're proud of that. As some of you may know, and I think this came as a part of the discussion around our strategic plan, and I know it was Dr. Bardo's phrase that he used to use with me when I was at the Regents. He says, we're trying to create and raise the profile of our university, and I think they did it, and he gave me an order. He said, learn, live, work, play. I think this is the motto that he used. He's trying to make people realize so that this campus is a place not just for students and doing the things that we know are the core mission of our institution, but also for our community and to make people feel welcome here. So one of the couple of the things we thought, hey, were important enough for us to make sure we don't lose that is we're going to continue to look for ways that we can make the campus more welcoming and inclusive for all. As you know, in the retail side, we've got Fuzzy's Taco is open. We're going to have another restaurant hopefully opening later this fall. And we're trying to do what we can. There's been, I mean, there was an effort, I think, this last year about paths for walking your dog, if I remember right, yeah. And, but we're trying to make this as a place that it's not just for our students to enjoy, although that's a core part of it, but also for our whole community to feel like it's a place they can come and enjoy things and not feeling like it only has to be when we have a certain kind of event. And kind of the last thing I'd want to note is that one thing that's overlooked some, and we felt like this is a thing that we ought to highlight in the coming year and continue to pursue, and that is that it's not only about us welcoming others, but it's also about us participating in our community. And just a little personal survey that I did with a few people that I asked, we think about how people try to support us, and we are very fortunate to have great support from our community. But also, we have people throughout this campus who spend a lot of time working in our community and trying to be supportive and help our community in its idea of growing and getting better. And so one of the things we're trying to do is say, how do we continue to utilize the talented people we have here to help in improving our community? Because I think this is a relationship, it's a partnership, and it's something that we ought to care about. As I said earlier, Classes start on Monday. We're excited about the new year, and I look forward to answering any questions that you have. So thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for President Tompkins? All right, thank you so much, Dr. Tompkins. And are there any questions that the audience has for anything that I mentioned in the university update that I can answer at this time? If I am unable to answer, Joe Kleinsasser will get back with you with some answers. All right, seeing none. We always like to close by reminding people of the vision and mission of Wichita State University, and that is to be internationally recognized as the model for applied learning and applied research. And the mission is to be an essential educational, cultural, and economic driver for Kansas and the greater public good. Thank you so much for attending, and we'll hold the next briefing 10 a.m. Thursday, August 22nd. Thank you.